Hello, Ella.
Hi, Tom.
This is Artemis Cosmos, and this is a training video for the weapons console.
Before we begin, a few housekeeping notes. Up in the left-hand corner, you will see ship information. It lets you know how the ship is doing. Above that, you'll see a button for options. You don't need to worry about that now. If you do, your GM will go ahead and explain that.
Also, here on the upper right side is an upgrade button, which looks really fun and interesting, but it's another thing that you shouldn't touch until you speak about it with your GM.
Also, in the upper right-hand corner, that is for the main view screen. You also have tactical, long-range scan, and data. Your captain will tell you what you want to select.
Remember that the helm officer also has these controls, so you have to talk to your helm officer and work out who's going to actually control that for the captain.
On the upper central of your screen, you will see controls to control zoom in.
You can also click and drag with your finger or your mouse to look around the radar. And also, if you have one, your mouse wheel can quickly zoom in and zoom out. Here around the edge of the radar is the heading ring, which shows which direction things are coming from and which direction the ship is going to. As you can see right now, the ship is pointed directly up at 00. But if an enemy's coming in, your science officer may say that it's coming in from 80 degrees.
Speaking of the radar, there are various things represented on this radar. First and foremost is the player, the little green icon, the little blue icon just above it. Those are friendly ships. Stations are represented by yellow. Red indicates enemy. Grays are unknown and must be scanned by science. Teal images are nebula. Little brown dots represent asteroids.
Okay, Ella, what's the most important thing a weapons officer has to do?
Lock on your target.
That's right. Your ship has beams that fire out the front at enemies, and they need a target lock. So lock on to a target by clicking on the enemy. You got to click on the enemy you want to shoot at. Beams are auto fire, but they can't hit anything without the lock on.
Weapons officer has control of raising or lowering shields. However, the helm station also has that control.
Down below that on the weapons officer's control, you have beam frequency. They're one of 5 options that the weapons officer can choose to make sure that their beams are hitting the enemy shields as efficiently as possible. But how do we know what's efficient?
You will find that out from your science officer.
Beam cycle is actually rate of fire. And if you choose 50%, then beams will hit twice as often for half as much damage. This doesn't actually change any of the damage your beams do, but it changes how fast your beams hit different targets. This is very important for things like incoming torpedoes or drones.
Hey Tom, what are those white and red rings on the radar?
I'm glad you asked, Ella. This red ring is about 5,000 meters away from your ship and indicates about the maximum range of your torpedoes. So when you want to fire torpedoes at something, make sure that the enemy is closer than this red ring. Also, each of these white rings indicates another 2,000 meters, which means that this innermost ring is only 1,000 meters away from your ship, which is important because that's usually about as far as beams can fire, and also it's about the damage radius of a good nuclear torpedo. So when you fire a nuclear torpedo, you don't want an enemy to be within this closest ring.
To load a weapon, you will want to select your type. First type is homing torpedoes. Select your type, hit load, and once it's loaded, your fire button will be highlighted. Yes?
Before you fire, what do you have to do, Ella?
Lock on your target.
That's right. Always lock a target. And then your torpedo will fly straight to the target.
If you do not lock onto your target, it will fly into the nearest thing, enemy or friendly.
Well, that's gonna suck. Ella, torpedoes fly out of the front and home in on enemies and do damage. This is the basic homing torpedo. Make sure again that you get a target lock before you launch.
Nukes do the same, but have a blast radius warhead, which can hurt several enemies at once. Don't fire it when you're too close to your target.
EMP torpedoes are like nukes, but they only hurt shields.
And finally, mines are like nukes, but they don't fly anywhere. They just fall out of the back of your ship, so don't back up. You can convert spare energy to a homing torpedo by clicking on the To Torp button.
Also, you can turn a torpedo into extra energy by clicking the To Energy button. Now, it's going to destroy one torpedo of the currently selected type.
Hey Tom, what's that manual button?
Ella, I'm glad you asked. When you select a target, you can activate manual, and you get close to an enemy, you can get a 3D view. These buttons will do extra damage to enemy ship systems.
What's the most important thing, Tom?
To get a lock on the target.
Thank you! Now go save the galaxy!